Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and I'm very excited because I'm starting like a new-ish series. I say ish because don't know how long the series will last, but where I am doing all things cozy, reading cozy things, eating cozy things, crafting cozy things, and just taking you along the journey. I came upon this idea primarily because I've realized over the last couple weeks that my reading tastes currently are cozy. I tried to read The Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler and I was like, ooh, too much for me. Cannot do this right now. And I think that is a-okay because it's there on my shelf and ready to be read, hopefully. Maybe by Summerween. Maybe I'll feel inclined to pick it up again and be more in the mood. So I'm hoping doing some of these like cozy vlogs will help just put me in a good headspace, and then I'll be able to explore some not as cozy reading that I have on my shelf and on my TBR and just my one to reads, ones to buys kind of things. So that's the plan. This first vlog, I am focusing on kind of cozy witch-y things. So I am currently 50%-ish of the way through the House Witch, and I'm enjoying it thus far. I've talked about it. I think I talked about it in my previous vlogs. I also have a London vlog right here. We're cozying out a banana bread. As you would have seen at the beginning of this video, I went and saw Pride and Prejudice. If you didn't know, they're actually doing a 20th anniversary re-release. So check your theaters if you want to go see Pride and Prejudice in theaters once more. I know for a fact, I'm 100% positive that I did in fact see Pride and Prejudice in theaters when it came out in 2005. I would have been in middle school or just started high school when it came out. I didn't look at the date, the exact month that it came out, but I believe Pumpkin's playing. I just got home. Oh, you did. Go ahead. Anyway, I do believe I did see it in theaters that long ago. Of course, I've seen it in between, but it actually has been a while since I saw the movie. I rewatched the BBC series last year. So I was actually surprised by how much I was like, oh, I kind of forgot about this particular shot. You know, I know all the big moments, but like just for being reminded of the cinematography again was so much fun. The only trouble here was that I was next to two women who incessantly whispered, you know, loud whispered to each other throughout the entirety of the movie, which, listen, I get it. We're coming to rewatch a movie that we've all seen probably numerous times and you want to have a good old time, but like you're in a theater and I'm trying to enjoy the experience that I'm not going to have again for the foreseeable future. So I would appreciate it if you would just like not. You can talk about it afterwards. Right, Pumpkins? She is just going after this. You know those little ball, those tear ball things? They were just like, I don't know if these two people, hold on, let me move it. Like, I just don't know if these two ladies were incapable of being quiet, because if they weren't whispering, they were moving loudly. They were taking like the most dramatic sips of their drinks, like just every little thing that they were doing, I could hear. Like, drove me fucking bananas. Drove me fucking bananas. It's like that, but like infuriating. Ruining my cozy experience, but it was still a great time. It was so nice to see the movie on the big screen once more, so I was excited to get the opportunity to do that. Check out your local theaters. I know some of them were only doing it in April, but it's May now and there's still theaters doing it, so if you want to get the chance to see Pride and Prejudice, the 2005 movie, in theaters once more, go check your local theaters and see if it's playing anywhere around. I wholly agree with this. But again, outside of that, currently a little over 50% of the way through the house switch. It is the first book in this trilogy, because apparently there are other books in this world, but in this trilogy that follows Finn, who becomes the house witch for a castle for the king of this, I forget where it's like Dariax, something like that, Dyrexia, something like that. And I think I talked about, like, I definitely talked about this in another vlog. The writing isn't like 100% my cup of tea. I started reading it on my e-reader as well, just because I was like, I'm not always gonna be listening to the audiobook, so I prefer the audiobook to reading it, because it's an interesting style of writing. But I would also say, I was thinking about it this morning, that it's also like very episodic in the way that it's told. Like, the story still progresses, but to me it kind of reads like an anime, like something like My Hero, or something like that. Yeah, definitely something like My Hero, where you have like other characters that you might focus on and have like their own little episodes as the plot's progressing, and give you like different points of view of this plot as it continues, and like build things up. And that's very much what this book does. So even though Finn is like our main character, he's our house witch, we are getting a lot of POVs all over the place. So if you're not a fan of like third person omniscient, where you are getting like everybody's thoughts and opinions, this book may not be for you. I will just say that. But it is cozy. There are stakes, but it's still cozy, like I said, because you have that episodic vibe, and some things are like crazier than others. So it's still giving me cozy vibes. So that's what I'm currently reading right now. And perhaps we will get to, I have the audiobook for Kiki's Delivery Service, and originally I was trying to do like Studio Ghibli-esque videos, which I think we will still sprinkle in because Studio Ghibli is so warm and cozy. But Kiki's a witch, and I felt like moving into that audiobook, especially because I have it from the library, you know, being able to listen to it in this vlog too will be nice. So that is our current plans. Other plans is I do have some recipes, and I'm trying to remember what other book I have recipes from. I checked the House Witch. There are no recipes in the House Witch, but this book I read back in the fall, A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and there are some recipes back here. And since this is witchy, very cozy, very autumny, very Halloween-y vibes, I feel like it'll really go well. So I think I'm gonna do a recipe from this book in this vlog as well. So that's the plan. That is our plan. Also, I just picked up my Owl Crate box. I have totally forgotten what this book was gonna be, so I'm excited to open it with y'all. It is very dense, so I'm interested to see what it's going to be. Like, this box is just bursting. Like, cutting that was difficult. So let's see what this book is. Yeah, they barely were able, oh, that's right. It's the Olivier. Olivia Blake, The Gifted and Talented, which is kind of dark academia. I forgot this is the book. This book is thick. My lord. But here's the cover from Owl Crate. So, oh lord, wow, okay. Oh, very fun. Dust jackets just drive me crazy, but the inside of the dust jackets is fun. It's got the families. It's got the siblings in here and just like information about them. That's super nifty.
You killing the mouse?
Fake mouse. Fake mouse.
Yeah. Oh, get it, pom-poms.
And then it says, ghost beget ghost. The truth is you can fall from grace at any time. So this is very nice, very sleek. The inside cover is super intense. I wonder if it's the same on the other side. Nope, different. A little less intense. And we have the lovely sprayed edges as well. Stop focusing on me for 5 seconds. But yes, so that is our owl crate. I did get a confirmation. Hello, Pumps. I did get confirmation that my Emily Wild set will be coming in soon. It was just shipped. I thought it was coming so much sooner, but it is coming. So that is super exciting. But that is where we're at with this cozy vlog. I'm excited to get going, give you some updates, do some more cozy things. I don't know which project we're gonna do yet, what crafty project we're gonna do, but I will let you know. Stay tuned. Hi, hello. It is Thursday, May 8th. Checking in on our little cozy reading vlog because we didn't do any reading on Tuesday and didn't do any reading during the day on Wednesday, but I did finish The House Witch last night. I'm sitting on the floor currently trying to get Pumpkin to play. She finally came out from napping. I was actually coming to grab my camera because I am also simultaneously working on some spring cleaning stuff and doing that as a vlog. So look forward to that. I think by the time this vlog comes out, my mid-year like content reading reset will be out. So you'll see my plans anyways for the next couple months, which is great. I felt very satisfied having done all of that. So I'm excited to edit that video and get that out for you. But yes, I finished The House Witch. So surprisingly, it ended rather abruptly. So I thought we were gonna have like a resolution to some of the plot points outside of one of the romances from the story, or I guess the main romance, but it really just was kind of a to be continued sort of thing and didn't really have like a full resolution, which I could see could be very frustrating. I gave the book 3 stars, and primarily there are 2 reasons for that. First off, I had a good time. I enjoyed it. I do think I've already put a hold on the 2nd and 3rd books that will finish the story because I'm invested enough in the characters in the story, not just Finn and Annika and like the king and queen, the son Eric, a lot of the knights and the kitchen aides. Like, I'm invested in all of these characters enough that I want to see what their different resolutions are going to be as time goes on. And like I said, there's also like a brewing plot, like political plot in the background that has been like slowly dripped in as the story progresses. And so I do want to see what the resolution is going to be. I do think I still prefer the audiobook. I did end up picking up the digital e-reader copy because I just felt like I wasn't getting through it fast enough on the audiobook, and I knew people were waiting for the audiobook, and I only had like 3 or 4 days left, so I wanted to get that done. And last night I just powered through, read till like 2 a.m., which was a bad idea, but I did it anyway, and we finished. And yeah, like I said, it was enjoyable. I think if it had been shorter, I might have enjoyed it even more. And like I said, the writing style to me wasn't like, it was weird. It was a very weird writing style to me. And I would say that definitely made the story less enjoyable than it would have been had it been written differently. For anybody who's interested in the book, I just think you need to go in knowing that it is really third person omniscient. Like, you are getting everybody's thoughts, emotions, you know, feelings. Like, we are getting so much. It is very lots of information, lots of things to know about these characters. There are a lot of characters. You do get the cat's perspective, Kraken, every couple chapters, which I will say, I don't know if, like, unfortunately, I don't know if I liked those chapters, because the portrayal of Kraken, I likened it to like a Chicago mob boss, and that may be partially because that was what the audiobook narrator chose to do, like a Chicago kind of accent for all these cats, and I didn't quite like that, but I just also think the story in general, pumpkin. But yeah, which was kind of sad because, you know, a cat's always a good selling point. And I think probably it will be interesting to see, like, Kraken is doing his own work and his own missions. So it'll be interesting to see how he conveys that to Finn later on in the stories. But yeah, I don't know. It was a fun book. Like I said, it would have been even more fun had it not been so long, and all of them seem very long. But I definitely think I will continue on. It is cozy in a lot of different ways, and I am interested to see kind of where everybody ends up. So that is that. We have Kiki's Delivery Service that I have on Libby as an audiobook, and then I also have Howl's Moving Castle as an audiobook as well. And so I will be doing this vlog, I think, until Thursday of next week. So this is a little over a week for this. So we may listen to both of them because combined they're like 12 hours. Kiki's is like 5, and I think Howl's Moving Castle is like 7. So I'm excited to listen to them. I did order some syrups because there is a tea recipe in the book that we chatted about, my witchy book, that we could make. And it's like cinnamon and vanilla. It's kind of like a London fog, but adds cinnamon, and they're calling it the Ipswich tea. And so I already have Earl Grey, and I have oat milk to steam. So I thought that would be an easy little recipe to do. So I bought it from a Colorado-based syrup company. So I'm interested to see how they're gonna taste, try them out. So that should be coming at some point in time. I'm gonna go get this laundry going, and then I have some other things to do, but that is my check-in for this vlog. And I will see you when I've got something else to tell you or show you. Hello, happy Friday. I just got back from a yoga class and got myself a London fog. My new cozy obsession. Can't wait till my syrup's get in because I'm ready to make my own London fogs. I also have a parfait, but I wanted to share with you, to be a little cozy, is our yoga instructor gave us some like cute little affirmations and stuff. So let's see. I haven't opened it. I literally just got home. Very cute. And then we have these little cards. They say like, "You're awesome." Just destroyed the sticker. This would be cute to put in my reading journal. Look at that. Oh, it says, "Here's to you. You leave a lasting impression on everyone you meet. Thanks for being so remarkable." And then they have like chocolates, and also they say April brings showers, so make your own rainbow. And so it's a little bead thing. I guess there's some leftover from April. So that's our little cute yoga haul. I also, I'm almost done editing the mid-year reset, so that's what I'm currently doing right now. I just took some pictures, I know, with this face, but what can a girl do? Took some pictures, gonna get the thumbnail done because I'm moving pretty steadily through this week, feeling good about it. But I also started Phantasma last night, which I know what you're thinking. Victoria, isn't that a romantasy? Haven't we been through that already? You keep getting burned, and you're right. You're right. But Jan from Jan Agaton's was talking about it, and she just read the second one, Enchantra. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I really want to like one, guys. I really just want to have fun with the girlies every once in a while when it comes to these books. Like, I saw Gavin from Gavin Reads It All, he read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which, if you saw that vlog, I don't remember what it was, but I believe I gave it like 2 stars or 2.5 stars. I really didn't like it. I was very disappointed because I was very excited about it. And he gave it 5 stars. So I still feel like I'm out of the loop here in finding a romantasy that I might like. I do like that this takes place, or at least starts off, in our world. I thought that was a little bit of a twist. So they're in New Orleans. It seems perhaps in like the early 1900s. The 2 sisters are from a family of necromancers, and the plot is Ophelia, who is the eldest sister. Her sister goes missing into this thing called, she believes into this thing called Phantasma, where basically it's a trial thing and it's spooky, haunted situation, and you have to be the last person to make it through to get your wish or to get something, money, whatnot, because they're in a little bit of dire straits at the moment. So that's the plot. But like I said, I like the setting. I do think one thing I'm already having a little bit of an issue with is that it's historical, but some of the language that's being used is not. And not saying it needs to be like super historically accurate, but I just feel like we're using some modern terms in the book that just wouldn't be perhaps used at that point in time. And I think like I would like for it to, like, you know, I'm not saying we have to do like historical lit fic kind of fiction, but even like a Veronica Speedwell that's historical fiction is still a very fast paced read. Reads like the language that they're using is generally something that doesn't feel too modern in the mouths of these fictional historical characters. So that's a gripe I have. The other thing that I am struggling with personally, and this is weird because I feel like, you know, we want representation in books, but I think like I'm having a hard time with it, is our main character Ophelia has OCD. That's so specific. It's really not a big deal. Like, this is just my personal, like I said, this is very personal to me. I understand that the author of these novels also suffers from OCD, so obviously she's drawing from like her lived experience and not mine. But I think I found that like the way that her OCD is manifesting a lot with compulsions to do repetitious activities, or, you know, setting these arbitrary time limits and things like that. And I think the other thing that I struggled with, and I'm curious if it's going to be like, if she's going to learn to manage her OCD in more like in constructive ways. Because for those of you who aren't as familiar with OCD outside of like what it's always portrayed in pop culture of somebody just being obsessively neat and or needing to like touch the door 3 times, which I mean she's doing a lot of knocking and things like that, is those compulsions actually are detrimental. So the way that it's like a cycle, so you have like a rumination or a thought, you complete the compulsion, and it basically relieves the anxiety at the moment, but then it's just like continuously teaching your brain and the way that your brain functions that in order to feel relief, you have to do these compulsions, which causes more anxiety, and then you just like, it's a cycle. So I'm curious to see if she will have Ophelia learn through the trials a more effective way to deal with her OCD. She doesn't call it OCD, obviously. She does use the words ruminations, and there were like a couple other things that, again, that I thought were like possibly, and I could be wrong on this, so someone can correct me, but I think possibly are more modern terms in psychology and used to talk about OCD. So like those were the kind of things that I was like, I mean, obviously, like, she's trying to give her words that aren't ones that somebody who's clinically diagnosed with it in modern day would have, like, more vocabulary to discuss it. So she calls it the shadow, I believe. Yeah, she calls it the shadow. And her manifestation of this shadow seems to be a voice outside of her head, which can happen. Sometimes it can also just be your voice, just a thought that basically your brain feels sticky. And so the thought, like, I have a little more checking compulsions. So like, wanting to, like, if I get a thought like, what if Pumpkin jumped in the dryer and I shut the dryer and I put it on? The compulsion I would have is to go check the dryer, even though I know that Pumpkin did not jump in the dryer. That would be more of like my physical compulsions. But I have a lot more of just ruminations and recycling of thoughts. And so trying to get rid of the thoughts or trying to reason, those are also different types of compulsions, which I feel like with a book could also be, I think like that type of compulsion can also be a little tricky to show. So I understand. Why it's not shown as much in books. I feel like I'm being very nitpicky, and again, I feel like this is probably what other people feel like when there's representation for neurodivergence in a book or other chronic illnesses and things like that, because obviously there are commonalities, but everybody is a little bit different. So I think that sometimes you can feel a little frustrated, but like it's totally like a me thing and not anything to do with the author sharing the way that she would portray her manifestations and compulsions, or the character of Ophelia. I don't even know how the author, I mean, I guess I could look it up. Maybe I will. I don't know. Is this cozy? But it is interesting that the character has OCD, and like, it's, like I said, obviously because this is set in a different time frame, doesn't have the words for it. I think the other thing I found frustrating for the character, and I think this is, obviously a this is probably very intentional from the depiction of the mother, who at the very beginning of the book passes away, so it's like we open with that, so it's not like I'm spoiling anything. That she had identified to Ophelia that the shadow voice, the shadow in her head that she's hearing, is not some kind of demon, which in her world could be a possibility. And some people, think that sometimes these sticky thoughts and things like that could sound a little different than yourself. So, like, the mom identifies clearly, like, the mom is somebody else in the family suffered from similar symptoms, suffered from OCD, because the mom was aware what it was, but didn't give her daughter any good coping mechanisms for it. So instead allowed her to continue on with these compulsions. And, it's like, you can hear a lot of stories from people who suffer from OCD. I feel very fortunate. I think that I haven't had as much trouble with, like, one, a lot of people don't get diagnosed with OCD until much later in life, myself included. But I also managed for a long time without it impeding on my life. Where it seems like Ophelia, it has, like, in some ways really made her world smaller, in addition to the fact that her mother made her world very small. So I feel like her mother, like, compounded on a lot of these things for her. So I'm very curious to see if that is something she will kind of work through throughout the book. I am curious about that. So thus far, I like it. I think it's going to get a little bit more romantic-y from here on out, because now she's going into Phantasma, which, like I said, is like some weird traveling haunted circus thing, essentially. So we'll see. I'm not going in here thinking this is going to be a new fave, because we all know how I feel about romanticies. But like I said, did give me some things to think about, just because I haven't read that many stories with characters with OCD. So I think John Green, I'm pretty sure he has OCD. And that story Turtles All the Way Down is about a character with OCD, which I've never read. Yes, John Green does have OCD. And yeah, so he has ruminations and repetitious behavior. Anywho, my camera's about to die, so let me go ahead and make this thumbnail and stop talking about this and get back to doing what I was doing. You are a little lopsided and currently on my phone because I forgot to charge my camera battery last night. But have some updates, some things to tell you, so I didn't want to wait until it got itself together. First things first, I just finished Phantasma, and I think I'm going to give it 3 stars. I enjoyed it, which is a first, I think, for a romantasy. And again, well, I didn't say this before, but I also wouldn't classify this as a romantasy. Like, I wouldn't, like, I mean, I guess technically, if we consider paranormal under fantasy, then, like, technically, but I would actually consider this a paranormal romance. Like, harken back to some old school, some old school categories for books. I would say this is a paranormal romance, our setting, even though it is primarily in this like magical house, it's still in our world. It's not in a different world. And we are not really dealing with like fantasy creatures. We're dealing with like paranormal creatures. And so to me, this is a paranormal romance, not a romantasy. So that may have made a difference. But yeah, I'm giving it 3 stars. I think I enjoyed the first half more than I enjoyed the second half. I kind of guessed most of the reveal before it happened, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But I was glad that I won't give anything away in case you haven't read it, but I did think that overall my prediction about, you know, this experience helping our main character, Ophelia, who suffers from OCD, to kind of learn better coping mechanisms. I did like how, you know, obviously like therapy is something that's still a burgeoning topic here and in the time period that I believe this book is set in. So just her acknowledging that it's okay to ask for help and not have to deal with like all of these things on her own and to have more support, I think was a great kind of takeaway for her character from that point of view. The romance was cute. Okay, we're not going to give anything away. So yeah, like I said, I think I enjoyed overall the progress. I am going to read the second one because I was more interested in Genevieve's character a little bit more since she didn't have all these like not latent abilities, but she didn't have all these like necromantic abilities like her sister. So I was a little more interested in Genevieve's, and just getting like a taste of it, it seems like it's going to be more of an enemies to lovers kind of situation. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and read that one because this one didn't like throw me off. It was a pretty fast read. And like I said, it's definitely more paranormal romance, so I'm curious to see how this next book will play out. It seems like it's going to be another situation with like trials and things like that as well. So curious to see how that goes. Curious to get a little bit more inside her head, opposed to like just what we're seeing through Ophelia's eyes. But that's that. Would I say the read was cozy? Kind of. But then again, like, cozy to me is just like, I mean, I guess it's not cozy, but I don't know. I still feel like it was kind of cozy. I think paranormal to me is always a little cozy because it just brings back memories of my early days of book buying and book shopping and things like that. Something that feels cozy to me. And it was kind of still witchy, to be honest. I mean, necromancers aren't witches, which she made pretty clear, but we still have magic, stuff like that. So, yeah. We're making it work in this video. But today, I'm going to listen to Kiki's Delivery Service, which should probably only take me about 2.5 hours because it's like a 5-hour audiobook. And I am going to do a little crafting. Originally, I was going to paint, let me grab it, paint this for a little crafting session, which who knows, maybe I will also paint this in this video, but I mean, maybe, because honestly, this project that I'm going to do, this is an old pill bottle, is going to take a couple days because I'm going to use air dry foam clay, and you have to like let that sit, you know what I mean? So I want to make a tiny fairy house. That is my idea. I got it last night. I was thinking about it, and this just perfectly fits these little flameless candles. So after I make it, I want to glue this in so you can then like turn the light on and off for it and can have like a little flickering light. I guess I have to decide if I'm going to cut the plastic. It is a pretty thick plastic, so I am hesitant to do it because I feel like you could still get like a nice glow without it being weird that it's orange, because you know, it just gives like that cozy fireplace vibe. So I think that'll be fine if we don't cut the windows out like that. We'll see. We'll see. And then I'm gonna use this top as to make like the little top of the house. So we're gonna do this really simple because I want to do this on a bigger scale. I've got a lot of like glass jars that I'm just not using, and I just saved them after I cleaned them, and so I've seen a lot of people doing that with clay. So I want to use this as my first test subject and then kind of go from there. So I'm very excited to do this. So that is what we are going to do this afternoon. Once my camera is finished, I will give you a little update on how our project is going. But for now, I'm going to use my phone to listen to the audiobook. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get to it.
See the world through the eyes of a bird. I knew I would fly as an author, because writing fiction made me feel as though I had wings.
Hello, I'm back in my car, back on my phone to chat with you because I have a book to send out to somebody from Pango, so I've got to go do that. I also know that my Studio Ghibli little, come on brain, embroidery kits are here. Little embroidery patch things are here. So, and I do believe my Emily Wilde books from Owl Crate have finally come in. So I'm going to go drop this off and then probably get a snack, maybe a smoothie or vice versa, whichever comes first. And then I'm going to go pick those things up. But I am very sleepy because I stayed up till like 1 a.m. reading Enchantra, which is like the companion sequel follow-up to Phantasma, following Genevieve, who's the younger sister in this story, and she basically is seeking out this family that she's found some connection to her mom, and ends up stumbling upon a basically murderous family affair. And we have some fake dating situation going on here with our main character, Rowan, who I like. I like that we got Blackwell, who is more of like the flirty, silly, kind of Asterion-like character, that's like one of my favorite type of tropes. And then with Rowan, we've got more of the grumpy sunshine kind of thing, kind of Mr. Darcy-esque personality. So I like we got those two because those are my two favorites. Anywho, this one's a little more, I would say there's a little more kink in this book with these two characters. And I do like Vivi. I was more interested in her from like when she was introduced. I guess like, as a character, I was kind of interested in following her story because she is like the sister, she's like the spare sister, since she doesn't inherit her mom's powers. And that's all told to you like in the very first bit of Phantasma, so it's not a spoiler or anything like that. So I was kind of interested in her story to kind of see how she would fit into this world. And so this has been fun. It's a very fast read. You know, like tournaments, games are always fun to read. I feel like they kind of give the story some momentum. I also think like some of her backstory has been a little interesting, kind of getting a little more details that were like glimpsed at in Phantasma. I don't know if it's going to be more than a 3 than Phantasma was 2. I do feel like both of these are just kind of like light, fun reads, and so like a solid 3 for me, and I feel like that's probably where this is sitting as well. I am curious because in this book where the main male character has multiple siblings, and so I'm curious if the author's intent is to use the siblings as like a jumping off point to continue in this kind of companion series. But that's where we're at with that. I'm about like a third of the way through Kiki's delivery service. I will show you the fairy house once we got back. It should be dry by now, so I should be able to do more things with it. So I couldn't really share that, plus my my camera wasn't charged, so I couldn't really share with you while I was kind of getting that constructed. But you'll be able to see it. It's coming along. It's coming along. Plus I was talking with my mom while I was doing that yesterday, so that was happening. Yeah, Kiki's delivery service so far, the book and the movie seem pretty similar, so I'm glad it's pretty short. It's very light, very cozy, very young, so we'll see. I should be able to finish listening to that today once I get back home and do some things. I also need to go grocery shopping today at some point. But alright, like I said, I'm hungry. I need to get a snack. Need to get this box sent out, pick up stuff from the mailbox, and we'll check with you later. Hello. I just need to document this because it is Tuesday, May 13th. And I know I look like a hot mess at the moment, but I haven't talked about this a lot on my channel, but I've been playing Blueprints, which is a puzzle mansion, cozy, there's kind of a little mystery to it as well, game that came out in April. And the whole goal of these puzzles is to figure out how to get to room 46. And I think I've had like the perfect run in this one. So like every day is like reset. So this is this new day that I have everything that I've been aiming to get to be able to make some adjustments and maybe finally get to the room. Just look. Like, I am so excited. I'm not going to show you what's in the room because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who's trying to play the game, but I just wanted to share this momentous occasion with you because I was so excited. Okay, I'm gonna go finish up now. Hello. Let me turn on the light. Sorry, so distracted. Back up in the office, clearly. Here we are. Here is our little fairy house. That I've been working on. So obviously it's not painted yet. The lid, I think I'm gonna have to like add clay to the top right here on the white. I don't know. I've been thinking about whether I should just like put something on here, like make it kind of look like paint it brown and then like hang something on it. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with what I want to do. But it's all dry. So we definitely can paint it and get it looking all cute. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out thus far. Like, I don't know. I'd say the one thing with foam clay opposed to like air dry clay or things like that is there's not as easy a way to like smooth things out. At least I haven't found. If anybody knows, let me know. I guess you, like once it's dry, you can sand it, but I don't really want to sand it because I do like the texture on it, so I think we're gonna leave it for now. But that is ready for something, whatever I decide to do with it. I think I'm gonna paint it. I have a bunch of white paint, so I think I may like base coat it. Well, maybe I'll base coat it black, and then because that adds like more dimensions. I don't know, and then paint on top. We shall see. We shall see. Unclear yet, but that's exciting. I'm also about 50% of the way through Kiki's delivery service. It really is just like the movie. Like I can see it like scene for scene. They pretty much like replicated the book for the movie. So I don't know, but I wanted to briefly drop in because I think I mentioned yesterday we received a bunch of stuff, and so I wanted to show you what we got in the mail. So let's do that. First things first, we got our embroidery stuff, like I mentioned. Hi, pups. Yes, so I will definitely share this Etsy shop down below here, but like I mentioned, they are Studio Ghibli inspired. So definitely excited to do this. Just so you can see. Got a little baby Totoro. Got a little sunshine bucket. We got our suit sprites. More suit sprites. We have, I'm actually not sure what this is. Someone tell me what this is. Got Kiki's bow. A little mouse thing. Another suit sprite. Got a little forest spirit. And I recognize this guy, but I'm not sure what it's from. I think it's from one I haven't seen. So those are all little.
Yellow.
I'll probably do the suit sprite first because I already have black embroidery thread, so I think that will be the easiest one. I think I have black and white, so I think that will be the ones I'll start with here. But I'm excited to add these to things. I don't know what I'm gonna add them to, but I'm excited. So, and again, I'll put this down below, but here's a QR code. Oh, I guess that's like for leaving your, yeah, find me online. So there's the QR code. Oh, it's a soft. So this is from Lion Brand. And I wanted to make a summer dress. So I got this one, which is the Botanic one, and it's supposed to be a blend of something. But I'll show you the dress that I'm going to make using this. Okay, so we got a bunch of them here. So this is the color scheme we're going with. So like pinks with the cream for the dress. And then I'm gonna be knitting a little sweater. Isn't it supposed to send me the instructions? But I'm gonna be knitting a little sweater. So those are all of our yarns. And finally, I mentioned this to you yesterday. We've got our Emily Wild set from Owl Crate. It's nice embossing on it with this little picture of Emily's dog. And we got a winter scene in the back, which I think is gorgeous. And then, of course, we do have scenes on the inside cover. I don't know if it was easier to do it this way or not. So there we go. So excited to finally have all three of them. I know some people were not as into these covers. I really like them though. I'm happy with my purchase. Hello, happy Thursday. I am just coming in here real quick to close out this to close out this cozy vlog. So things, I think we did pretty well in this cozy reading vlog kind of situation. I didn't show you, but I did make a London fog. But today those syrups that I got from like a small business in Colorado are coming in with like the cinnamon vanilla that I can use to make the Ipswich tea. So I'll probably make that in the next cozy vlog because they will be here. But it is Thursday. We need to close this vlog out. And so I need to just kind of go over what happened real quick. So we read we've read 4 books in this vlog, 2 audiobooks and 2 ebooks. So that feels like a success. We read, good Lord, what did we read? What did we currently read? Oh yes, so we listened and finished The House Witch. Well, we did kind of a combo on that one. Then we read both Phantasma and Enchantra in like 3 days. Blew through those. And then I did finish Kiki's Delivery Service. I did not do any more on the Fairy House. But I have been like really trying to get my kitchen situated at night. Just, it makes me feel better when the kitchen is not a disaster, especially because of where it is in relation to the house. It's like you walk in and there's the kitchen and the dining room, the dining space. So it is very nice to have that space to do those kind of things. So yeah, I am happy with that. Happy that we were able to make that. I would just want that space to feel better. So I did finish listening to Kiki's Delivery Service. I believe I gave it 4 stars. It is there's less of a narrative, real big upheaval, I feel like, in the end. But it was cute. It was cute. It was definitely like, I think it was like, ended up being like 2 hours and 10 minutes for me to listen to it. So it was a quick little listen. Yeah, I think that's all the things we need to wrap up for this cozy vlog, hopefully. I think so. I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching. To the end of this vlog, go ahead and put a kitty emoji for Gigi. We love Gigi, whether it's in the movie or in the book, so put a little kitty emoji there for Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service. If you are doing any cozy reads or have some recommendations for me, let me know down in the comments below. Look out, our next vlog is going to be a crafting vlog where I'm going to be making some Hades Disney ears to go on a hat for my Disney trip. And doing that, kind of upcycling some of the stuff from my cosplay from Dragon Con last year. So stay tuned for that. And if you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every Friday. And until next time, I hope you read a good book. I hope you find some joy. And most importantly, I hope you do something to make the world a better place. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.